Most website designers are struggling and their businesses, well, they're not performing too well. It's not necessarily because they're bad at website design or website creation, but they may be failing or struggling because they don't have systems in place, or the systems that they do have in place, they suck. And coming from personal experience, I've been there. I've had a messy system. I've had no system at all. But after I did find my systems, found what works for me and what every project most of the time mainly needs, I was able to fix my system. And with that being said, today I definitely want to break down my 5 practical tips for you to help you improve your web designs, businesses, systems, and workflow. The tips I'm going to be bringing to you are going to be very, very practical, things that I actually did that did not give me burnout. And now, since we are on a topic of workflows and systems that you can have in place for not only you, but your clients as well, I will be talking about today's sponsor, Adminify, but more on them later. So my first tip would definitely be to build a repeatable starting point in whatever way works for you. You know how most times you go out, you find a new client, or that client finds you, and you begin a process, but then you realize that you're starting from scratch. You're starting from zero all over again. I'm here to tell you, you don't need to do that. You don't need a super advanced Notion system or some giant project template. Just build you a repeatable starting point so that every time you begin a new project, it can begin and start smoothly. And obviously I don't want to just throw words out without giving you some examples. So some examples of this would be a saved folder with your standard pages ready to duplicate, a pre-built website skeleton used as a starting point, a simple checklist that you follow every time you create a new project, or even a note within your usual onboarding steps copied and paste. And obviously, if you need more direction on layout style, some of the basics, you can also go to websites like Elementor if you use WordPress and Elementor like myself. The point is, you don't have to be fancy, and your starting template doesn't have to be fancy either. You just don't need to be starting from zero every new project. My second tip would be to lock in on your website structure before building your website. For me personally, I do not hop inside of Elementor's builder until I officially know every page and layout, all of the designs, all of the color schemes, everything. That is when and only when I actually hop into Elementor to start the design process. You do not need to be out here building websites and you're skipping the site mapping phase, the wireframing phase. Honestly, you need to make sure you're inside of platforms like Figma to actually build out and design the page structures and the actual layouts. And then you need to send this to your client for approval before you hop into Elementor or any other web designing platform to start building. Now that kind of sounds no duh, but I'm here to tell you that in the beginning I thought it wasn't needed, and ultimately if I got a client last minute and I really need the money, I would skip all of those phases and just go straight into building, because in my head it worked better for me, and in return that led me to long overdrawn processes. I couldn't visually see what in the heck I was trying to create, and honestly it was just a hot mess. So I'm telling you, do as I say, not as I did, because I don't do it anymore. My third tip would be to clean up your workspace. And I'm talking both mentally and physically. I realized that I work my best in small windows. So 2 to 3 hours on a specific client project works perfect for me. And I make sure that I do this every day. So whether it's 2 to 3 hours per client, or if it's 2 to 3 hours on a specific part or task from that client project. But that's just the mental part of it. Focus only works if your workspace is actually clean too. So if you're like me and you are building this out of WordPress, we all know how chaotic the WordPress backend can get. There's a ton of different menu options, pop-ups, notifications, plugin alerts, all the things that makes the backend very chaotic and very cluttered and annoying. And that's exactly where Adminify comes in. Adminify helps you clean up and customize the entire WordPress admin area. You can do this for not only yourself, but also for your clients, which will be a really great tip inside of this tutorial for you to do for every client project. You can hide unnecessary menu items. You can organize things for clients. You can remove all of those annoying notices and notifications and pop-ups, and you can even make the dashboard way easier for you to move around, your client to move around. And you can also brand it to make it look similar to their brand. It basically gives you a cleaner workspace so you can actually focus on designing and not hunting through your menus or struggling with an outdated interface. I personally played around with the Minify tool, and when I say it gives you very modern, sleek vibes and overall look to the WordPress dashboard, most times most people won't even remember that they are using WordPress. I really love how you can go between light and dark modes, how you can brand it to look exactly like your brand, or in this case your client's brand, and ultimately it just makes the whole WordPress interface look a lot more modern. If you want to try it out for yourself, I do have a link for you down in the description box, and let me know if you've already used them before, your thoughts on it, or if you plan to use them within your next project. Thank you, Minify, for sponsoring today's video. Now, going into tip 4, this one kind of resonates with tip number 2. However, I want to take a deep dive into this one, which is working in layers and not all at once. I'm telling you guys, these are practical because it's coming from my true experience, things I wish I knew before. And this was one of the things I solely bad struggled with. In the beginning phases of my client projects, I would try to do everything from the design to their SEO to their content on their website. And also through all of this mess of chaotic things that I was doing, I was also still taking in revisions on top of still working with other clients in the midst of this. But I'm here to tell you that trying to design and fix content and revise all these tweaks all at the same time will slow you down. Remember to work in layers, okay? So it's the content first, then the design, and then your revisions, not all in one setting. And my 5th and final tip would definitely be to define your personal non-negotiables and find what works for you within every project. Food for thought is to, with every client project, remember that these are your rules and not the client rules. For example, you do not start any web design project until you have full content. What do I mean by full content? Well, whatever the heck your rules say. If you need images before, if you need videos before, if you need homepage copy before, if you need all of these things before starting a project, that is your rule. You need to stick to it and make sure that is given to you before starting a project. Another example of a non-negotiable is one that I struggle with a lot, and honestly I still do now that I think about it, and that is only taking calls during your operation hours. Being a freelancer, it honestly to clients looks like you have all the time in the world. To other entrepreneurs, it also looks like you have all the time in the world, and that ultimately leaves room for clients to hit you up whenever they feel like it. Now, is it a bad thing? No, because most of the times if a client is dealing with a problem with their website right then and there, more than likely they're going to hit you up while it's fresh on their mind, and there's nothing wrong with it. However, it doesn't necessarily equate to you being the designer to respond back to them immediately or in hours that are not your operation hours. Now, I'm not saying that if you're just chilling on your couch scrolling through Instagram that it's okay to ignore your clients. That's not what I'm saying. However, if you are busy and maybe you're away from your laptop or you're on vacation enjoying some family time, if you have your hours of operation already drilled in their head or somewhere on your website, this will help them not interfere with those times of your operation. And by having all of your non-negotiables written out on a piece of paper or something that you truly just go over and know within your web design business, this will keep you out of disappointment. It will help you not experience any anger points with your clients, because ultimately you know what your non-negotiables for, so they can't stress you out if you already know it and you already told them. So that was it. Those are my top 5 practical tips to help you improve your workflow. The tips I shared came from a true place of realization that I had to realize myself within my own business. And honestly, once I made that shift to add these tips inside of my workflow, my entire web design business got a lot more smoother. And when it comes to sharing practical tips, I do have a community that I have. It will be listed down in the description box below if you guys want to join the waitlist. It does launch December 1st. Thanks to Minify for sponsoring today's video. That's all I have, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!